Hey, what's going on, y'all? Hope everyone's having a fabulous day. If you haven't gotten a chance to subscribe to the best channel on YouTube talking about credit, then please do so. I'm trying to make as many videos as I can going forward to help us build as a community, and I hope you guys appreciate it. And if you guys do, all I'm asking, look, I don't ask you guys for any money or anything like that. I don't do a whole bunch of sales pitches. All I'm asking you guys to do, if you guys appreciate the video, just give me a thumbs up, and what that does, it lets me know that we're going in the right direction. Even if you don't want to hit that subscribe button because you don't want to be subscribed to the channel, at the very least, if you enjoy this video, um, please give me a thumbs up. So what I want to talk to you guys about is that magical 640 range. Um, the reason why that's such a magical number, because that's when you start gaining confidence that everything that I've been talking about is really true, right? So once you start getting into the 640 range, and I've seen it, I've dealt with a lot of people, time in, time out, that once they get to the 640, that's when they start understanding, and that's when they start getting their legs underneath them, that they understand how credit and how vital all the different factors of your credit score are, right? And that's when they really start understanding what I'm talking about. And if you guys don't know, there's 5 factors that make up your credit score. You have payment history. Um, that's just basically paying your bills on time, right? You have your utilization rate. Now, I've talked to you guys about utilization rate a ton in these videos, and that's going to be a huge factor if you have revolving lines of credit, especially if you have revolving lines of credit, is the fact that if you have anything over 30% on your utilization rate on any credit card, right, it's going to affect your credit score drastically. So even if you're using 2%, but you're using 30% on one particular credit card, what you want to do is either spread it out, or what you want to do is just work on keeping your utilization rate really low on your credit cards. I do not like anybody using 30% of their credit cards, nor do I like them to use 30% on one particular credit card, right? So what I want you guys to do is focus on getting your utilization rates low, right? There's a method that I use with people that have high utilization rates. And what I do is I try and get them to get their utilization rates by using MyJewelers and New Coast Direct. Those two accounts will get your utilization rate down overall. However, you're still going to be over 30% on your credit cards. Are you following what I'm saying? So just because we bring your utilization rate down using those methods, you're still in jeopardy. Your credit score is still taking a hit, because there's certain credit cards. Let's say you have a secure credit card worth a $200 limit, and you got that thing maxed out at $200, your 100% utilization rate, and then you go get a MyJewelers, and that's going to drop your overall utilization rate really low. However, on that particular card, you're still at 100%. And what I try and tell people is, what you want to do is you want to use the MyJewelers and the New Coast Direct to drop your utilization rate. However, you do not want to ever go over 10 to 15% on a particular card, and I usually say 10%. Once you start going over 10%, that's when you're going to start really getting affected by points going down in your credit report. You have length of credit. Length of credit, what that is just over time, especially when you start getting into higher FICO ranges like the 680s to the 700s. Once you start getting into the 700s, adding more trade lines to your credit report is not going to boost your credit score much higher. That's why a lot of times you will see people with higher FICO scores start getting authorized user accounts. And that's because once you start getting an authorized user account, what happens is you start getting authorized user accounts not for the balance, but for the length of credit, right? And then you have mix of credit, right? So mix of credit is different types of trade lines on your credit report. Here's what's really important about mix of credit. You have two different types of lines of credit. You have a revolving line of credit, and you have uh, an installment loan, right? An installment line of credit. A revolving line of credit is going to have more effect on your credit score. How you handle credit cards is going to have more of an effect than how you have an installment loan. The two differences are that revolving lines of credit are usually your credit cards, lines of credit, stuff like that. Those payments are going to fluctuate monthly, and when you pay that debt off, usually the relationship between you and your financial institution is still active, right? Well, with an installment loan, there's a set term, set interest rate. Um, it's in chances are the term of the loan, once it's paid off, it goes to zero, and you and that financial institution is divorced at that point in time. Those are like auto loans and stuff like that. Um, so you have different types, and what they want to see is, are you able to handle several different types of credit? The more lines of credit you're able to handle, the higher your credit score, because you're more trustworthy. And that's what they're really trying to see when they give you a FICO score, is how trustworthy are you. If we give you $1,000, what is the likelihood of us getting our $1,000 back, right? And so the more trustworthy you are, the more that you're experienced at handling credit, the higher the FICO score you're going to have. Okay, and then you have your new credit, right? Whenever you apply for a loan, you're going to get an inquiry, right? There's a hard inquiry and a soft inquiry. The hard inquiry is when you apply for an institution and they go to FICO to pull your credit score to see how trustworthy you are and how much they should lend to you and at what interest rate. And that's what they're trying to determine. What is your worthiness? What can we give you? If they see that you're experienced at dealing with auto loans, then their chances are you're going to get an auto loan, even if you have credit card debt, right? If you have credit card debt and maybe you have a couple of credit collections, but you had 2 or 3 auto loans and you're going to apply for another auto loan, chances are you're probably going to get another auto loan. But if you have repossessions on your auto loan, but you have good credit, chances are they might look at you a little different. So it just really depends on what you're applying for and how that's going to affect your credit score. So when you have you're looking at your FICO score and you see that your FICO score is 650, 660, let's say, and then you go apply for a credit card and your credit card says, oh, you got a 612. What that is that credit card institution is going to be heavily weighted towards credit cards. So a lot of times what you're applying for has a lot to do with your credit score, right? And so that's why you have the differences, between the credit scores. There's a lot of different. I can't remember the name of the person that basically they left a comment basically saying that they hate the fact of so many different FICO scores, and there's a ton of FICO scores, and then within those FICO scores, there's a bunch of different algorithms that tell you, that's weighted towards certain things. Like if you're going to apply for an auto loan, a repossession is going to be weighted heavily negative, more so than a collection on a credit card, right? And vice versa. If you're going to play for a credit card and you got a whole bunch of collections, charge-offs on credit cards, and you got a repossession, those credit cards are going to be more heavily negative than the auto loan. And there's just a lot of different algorithms. But what I want to show, the reason why I went over that those 5 factors is when you're looking at it, the type of credit that you have, the revolving lines of credit is going to be the biggest factor in your credit score. So you always want to be building credit. You always want to be focusing on getting the right credit cards. What are the right credit cards? If you're just starting out building credit, right? Let's say you just came into my channel and you're wondering, okay, well, Ken, you say you got to get credit, but my credit is bad, so I can't really get credit. There are these cards that are called secure credit cards, right? And what it is you put a security deposit down on the credit, on for the credit card, and whatever your deposit limit is, whatever you deposit. So if you deposit $250, they're going to give you a credit line of $250. These are the best types of credit cards to start building your credit, because what you're trying to do is not only are you trying to establish credit, but you're trying to learn how to deal with credit. You're killing two birds with one stone, right? And I'm really huge on education. You will have a lot of gurus that tell you you don't need to get a secure credit card. Go out and get you, MyJewelers and a New Coast Direct, and then start building secure or unsecured credit cards. If you could do it, great. But the way that I design my system is I could take anybody in this system, plug them into the system, and I know that I'm going to get positive results, right? So I can speak in generalities because I know without a shadow of a doubt, if you follow this strategy, you can get to 650 range right around 90 days if you do it aggressively, right? If you do it aggressively, meaning you go out and get all these trade lines that I'm about to talk to you about, you can get to the 650 range without a problem. Even if you're in the 400s, even if you're in the high threes, right? Because I actually had a person that said, oh, I'm in the high threes. Do you think your system will work? Yes, I do. And it's a lot easier for you to get to the 650 range than it is for somebody in the sevens trying to get to the eights, right? And regardless of what you think, once you get your foundation together, once you start getting these trade lines together, you will see your scores start going up. But it's a dangerous game that I'm teaching you, because once you start getting credit, now your discipline is going to come into play. Are you going to keep your credit cards in a position to where you can pay them off at any point? Right now, once you go out and you start getting yourself secure credit cards, and well, let me back up a little bit because it's important for me to talk to you guys about secure credit cards. If you are applying for a secure credit card, and let's say you're in sub 550s, chances are you're not going to be able to get qualified for the DiscoverIt, the CapitalOne. You might be able to get the CapitalOne, but the DiscoverIt secure credit card. But I do not recommend you guys going out getting the First Progress, the Merrick Bank, the anything with a financial institution that you're not going to be able to do business with going forward. It's really important that you find institutions that you want to do business with going forward. However, this is the only exception, right? Your very first credit card that you get, maybe your first 2 credit cards. Your first 2 credit cards that you get, I know for sure your first one, it's probably not going to be an institution that you're going to want to do business with for a long period of time, right? You might get it and keep it, but it's to help you establish your credit. It's to help you show worthiness, that you're worthy, that you know how to get credit. Once you get that first card, other companies are going to see your credit score going up, and they're going to know, okay, we can extend this person credit. So the very first card I want to talk to you guys about is the Opensky Secure Credit Card. The reason why I like the Opensky Secure Credit Card is the fact that there's no credit check. There is no credit check, but they are going to check to make sure that you are a U.S. citizen. They're going to make sure that you are 18. So in a sense, there is a credit check. I believe they do a soft pull to make sure that you are who you say you are, but there is no hard credit check. There is no hard pull. Are they going to do a credit check? I'm pretty sure they're doing some type of credit check on you. It's just not a hard inquiry on the credit report. And that's what I want to talk to you guys about. There's no hard inquiries on your credit report. Now, when you're starting to build your credit report and you're just starting out, you're gonna get some inquiries. Kim, I started doing your program. My credit score went down. Remember, I told you about that new credit. If you're applying for new credit, you're gonna take a hit. It's not gonna be a drastic hit, especially if your credit score is really low. But you want to start applying for credit, and you're gonna have to just take that hit. All right, don't worry about the hit right now, because over time your credit score is going to rebound, and once it does, it's going to have these huge jumps. Right, you're going to start seeing these 50, 60 point jumps, these 100-point jumps. But until you start applying for credit, um, I don't I don't know how to tell you. This is something that you just have to start with. You have to start with a secure credit card, and Opensky is one of the best ones because it's really easy to get approved for. And if you had an Opensky before, this is something that I'm presenting to you guys. I don't really want to put this out front and center just yet because I haven't fully vetted them. Right, I'm telling you guys straight up, I haven't fully vetted this company, but I'm working with a company that is helping me get my own secure credit card. Not my own, but I'm an affiliate of this company where you can. It's just like Opensky. You can get your secure credit card. There's no credit check as long as you're 18 years old and you have, I believe it is, you make $1,200 a month. You're able to get this secure credit card. It's really easy to apply. It's really easy to get. But it's just like Opensky. So if you're looking for secure credit cards, go in the description, look at my secure credit cards that I list for you guys, and you will see the secure credit cards that I really like. The next two that I really like are, once your score starts going up, what I usually recommend. I'm going to tell you guys the plan. This is what I usually recommend. You go out, you get you the Opensky, right? You have your one secure credit card, or you can get the CreditLiving secure credit card, right? You get that card, one of the two, right? Pick one of the two, and then what you want to do is you want to go out and you want to get a MyJewelers, right? You want to get a MyJewelers account. It's going to be a $5,000 trade line, right? And then you want to get the new Coast Direct. That's going to be a $5,000. Now the MyJewelers reports to TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax. The new Coast Direct only reports to Equifax and TransUnion, right? And you don't want to get anything really expensive. You're gonna pay a little bit of money, $99 for the membership. Then you go through and you purchase a little something. I think you have to put 50% down. Whatever you get, let's say you get a $100 watch, I think you have to put $50 down, and then overpayments for the next 50. But I believe you have to purchase something over $120 in order for them to report the trade line on your credit report. So once you get those two, what you want to do now, everything that you've gotten right now are revolving lines of credit, right? They're all revolving lines of credit. The next thing you want to do is you want to open yourself an installment loan. Now, there's two ways that you can do this, right? These are just going back to the basics. If you've been following this channel and I'm just going over the basics and you're like, man, Kim, we already know this. There's new people that are coming to the channel. I'm just trying to help them out. There's two different things you can do for the installment loan. Okay, there's two things. One, you can go to a company called Self. It used to be called SelfLender. They changed their name. They restructured the way that they do their loans. If you go on my archive of my videos, I did a review on a company called SelfLender. Self is the same company, right? They just restructured the payments. I don't believe they have the $2,200 loan anymore, but It's basically the same structure. However, they too have a secure credit card attached to your account. You can pick that up as well, right? You can pick that secure credit card up as well. So if you could pick the secure credit card from Self, I would highly recommend that. I would highly recommend that, right? Because it's not. I don't believe it costs you anything, and I probably should do a review on that secure credit card. Matter of fact, we should probably make that my next video. So go ahead, get the Self. So now at this point, you got the My Jewelers, you got the New Coast Direct, and you got your secure credit card, and you just picked up a Self installment loan, right? Now, you have enough credit. Don't do anything else. Stop. Just stop. Don't do anything else. At that point, you just let your credit build. Now, at that point, you have your foundation together. And I get people, once they get to this point, they lose patience. They get to this point, they're ready to do something else. Because in our society today, we have this shiny object syndrome where we always feel like we need to be doing something. Now, if you're aggressive and you go and get all these accounts, I pretty much guarantee it, as soon as you get a 50 to 100 point jump, you're going to be like, all right, Ken, what do I apply for next? And when I tell you, just relax. Let your credit build. Use your credit. Pay your stuff off. Don't apply for another thing until you paid off your New Coast Direct and your My Jewelers, whatever it is. Should you pay it all off at once? No. They're going to put you on, I believe it's a 90-day. In 90 days, you should be able to pay that off. Your installment loan for Self. Which one should you get? That's another question I always get. Which one should I get? Does it matter which one? No, it doesn't matter which one. Get the one that you can afford, right? It's a built-in savings account that you're doing. Every time you pay off, once you pay that Self off, the loan that you took out is going to be reimbursed to you, right? They're going to give you all that. They're going to cut you a check, or they're going to directly deposit it into your account. So it's like a built-in savings account that you're paying into every month. Are they charging you a little bit of interest? Absolutely. They're giving you a little bit of interest as well. But it's not about the interest. And most of the time, the problem that I have with people is shiny object syndrome, right? Credit hose. Every time they see something new, or they start getting these emails saying, hey, you've been applied for Brown Tree credit card, pre-approval. They feel, oh, I got my first pre-approval, I'm going to go ahead and apply for it. I only said Brown Tree because there's a brown tree, but you know what I'm saying, right? You got all these weird companies that's going to offer you credit that you've never heard. I never even heard of this bank before. Greengrass Bank, right? Big Truck Bank is offering you a credit card, and you're like, oh, okay, well, I can get a credit card with them. Don't do it, because, for example, one of the cards that you're going to get is CreditOne, right? If you have a CreditOne card, I apologize. I know you're not happy with the company, but you didn't watch this channel, and that's on you. Because I've been telling you guys that CreditOne credit card, secure credit card, or even a credit card, it's a hassle. It's a pain in the rear. The way that they structure the interest. They structure their interest on their credit cards like no other credit card that I know of. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, this is what CreditOne do. When you purchase something, as soon as you purchase that credit card, whether you pay it off or not, before the due date, you're being charged interest. Right? And they have these little things in these banks. I got the super red dot credit card, right? And you guys know what I'm talking about. I got the super red dot credit card. Ken, what do you think about the super red dot credit card? I don't think about that credit card because I don't know anything about that financial institution, and I don't want to go to a financial institution where I buy my groceries. I'm just saying. That's just me. All right? So all of you guys with these weird bank credit cards, these banks are not going to do business with you going forward. Those of you going to these huge banks trying to get, oh, I got me a Wells Fargo secure credit card. Great. They're never going to do business with you. I'm just letting you know. They're very rarely. Most of you that you don't know anybody walking around with a Wells Fargo loan, right? So why are you doing business with institutions that you're not going to do business? And I know I'm going to get one Yahoo. Oh, my auntie has a Wells Fargo account. Yeah, she's been banking with Wells Fargo for 1912, and she got $1 million sitting in a bank account or something ridiculous, right? And that's these larger financial institutions. So if you got like these Bank of Americas, these Wells Fargos, these large JP Morgan Chase, um, chances are, even if you start a business and you're bringing in substantial amount of money, I'll tell you a quick story. And I know I'm talking fast, but um, JP Morgan Chase, right? I tell you a quick story. I'm bringing in at this point in time about 20,000 a month through my bank account, right? Through, and I'm walking in JP Morgan, chest out, you know, walking in there, slapping my my checkbook on the desk. It wasn't, I was, good analogy. We'll just say checkbook. Slap my checkbook on the desk like, hey, I want some money. Give me some money. And they looked at me and they looked at my checkbook, and then they looked at me and they said, man, your checkbook's not big enough for us. And they sent me on my way, and I'm like, man, I'm bringing in a lot of money. I go right down the street to my little local bank that if I said them, nobody would know of them, right? And they're like, oh, you want a loan? How much you want? 50,000? Yeah, here, take this 50,000. Oh, you want a line of credit? Take this $15,000 line of credit, right? And it's just a different way of doing business. And you want to establish relationships with those banks that want to do business with you. And so when I'm telling you guys about these credit cards, always think about, okay, is this institution going to do business with me going forward? Now, the DiscoverIt secure credit card, the reason why I like that one so much is because it's going to graduate. Now, that's another thing. When you're getting these secure credit cards, one of the keys that you want to look at is the card going to graduate? And what that means is they're going to give you your money back, right? Period, point blank. You put down $250 when it graduates. It's usually about 10 to 12 months for the DiscoverIt. They're going to give you your money back, and at that point in time, that becomes an unsecured credit card. Also, DiscoverIt is one of those cards where every month or every few months, they're going to look at your account, how you handle your account, and they're going to give you an increase depending on how you handle that account. So if you're responsible with your money, they're going to give you these increases. Okay, so like I said, at that point, all you're trying to do is just let your credit build, right? And it's going to take you, depending on how aggressive you are, anywhere from, I don't know, about 3 to 4 months, you should be sitting in close to 650 range on your FICO scores. If you go out and aggressively, you handle your business, you keep your utilization rates low, right? Don't go get that, put the $200 down on a secure credit card and start maxing out your secure credit card, right? Because if you do that, then chances are your credit score is not going to be as high as you want it to be. And you're going to call me up, Kenny, you said, my credit score is going to be 650, and I'm going to go through, I'm going to look at it, and you're going to have late pays on your MyJewelers, you're going to have your secure credit card maxed out, and you go, well, what happened? Why are you complaining to me about your situation? You're the one that put yourself in this situation. I never told you to miss any payments on your MyJewelers, and I never told you, to go out and get this, cut and chase card and rack it up. Nobody told you to do that. And so a lot of times that's what I see. If you guys are just getting to this channel and you're looking for somebody to help you build your credit, right? And as we're sitting here, Thank you for whoever just joined Self. I just had someone that joined Self. So if you guys are looking for this, I guess that's a good point to make up. If you are just getting to this channel and you are looking to build credit, I have all the links in the description. I have all the links in the description that you can go link to. And I have a book that I've written. It's called Credit Anatomy. I'm going to exchange you. I'm not going to charge you anything, but I need your email address. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to be honest. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to put in your name and your email address. I'm going to send you my book, Credit Anatomy, for free. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you emails that are going to help you build credit along the way. All right? I'm building an email list out. I'm being completely transparent, right? And that way, when I drop my $1 million product, right? I drop my $1 million product and I say, hey, everybody go buy my $1 million product. Everybody go buy my $1 million product, right? No, but that's why they do it. I know, I'm being silly. But that's why they do it, man. That's why everybody asks for email address. Am I going to drop a product at some point? I do really plan on dropping a credit repair course that I'm working on now. I want to drop a credit repair course because I'm really interested in helping as many people as I possibly can. I do have a free credit repair course on my YouTube channel that you can go through my archives and look up. But you know, that's the basics of building credit. That's what you want to do. If you're sitting in the 400s right now, if you're sitting in the 500s right now, and you just came to this channel, I'm telling you without a shadow of a doubt, if you follow what I'm telling you, you're going to get to the 600 range. And once you get to that 650s, your confidence it changes you, right? It changes you because now you know you're in the right direction. All right. Now I hope I didn't make this video too long. Those of you that's been following this channel, I truly appreciate it. I hate the fact that I have to keep, sticking to the basics every once in a while. But if I just keep dropping videos, there's people out here that really need the help, and I don't want to leave anybody behind. All right, you guys have a blessed day. Those of you that stayed with me this entire time, I truly appreciate it. I'm going to catch you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.